It's the Big Dogs on campus, yo. This is Big Dog Cabby. Big Dog Cabby in the cockpit. My fellow big dogs are out in the streets, roaming the neighborhood, seeing who they can wake up, seeing trash cans they can get into. It is Saturday morning out here. I'm on the West Coast. It's the 27th of this month of August 2022. And that means it is 0 week college football right on our doorstep. So we're going to unpack today's games and look at next week's must-see TV game. We also want to take a quick look at our predictions for this week and next week. Which game of the week we think will be the game of the week? I already let you know who my pick was last week, but I'm going to reiterate that in a few minutes. The Heisman dark horse. Who you got? Who's your early favorite to win the Heisman Trophy this season? And last but certainly not least, my favorite team prediction for their season, looking at the calendars of your favorite team. And we're going to ask the viewers right here on the Sports Empire Network to shout out your team and their prediction. And I don't want to hear 10-0, 12-0. Let's be realistic, man. Look at your schedule, away games, home games, rivalry games, things like that, man. This is the Big Dogs on Campus show. I'm Cobby, Big Cobby to be exact, AC from AC Sports Live with the Sports Empire Network. Hey, this is the call to action part of the show. If you are watching this show, no matter what platform you're on, you need to go ahead and share this. You need to go ahead and like this. You need to go ahead and comment. So this video, this show, this network continues to reach thousands upon thousands of people. Hey, we growing this thing, y'all. If you want to be a part of it, holla at your boy. This is the Sports Empire Network. This is the Big Dogs on Campus. I'm your boy, Big Cobby, and this is it. For now, I'm waiting for Big Shane. I'm waiting for Big Cam. I heard Big Cam is under the weather. So sometimes big dogs do get sick. You know what big dogs do when they get sick? They go outside and eat grass. That's their medication. Now, today's big dogs, they go to the vet. I don't know about you. I'm an old head, according to my son. I'm an old head. And old heads, we don't take dogs to the vet. We take dogs out back. Let them eat grass. Let them throw it up. Let them eat some more grass. Give them some good food. Take them for a walk. Love them up. Let them run free. All good. Today's big dog goes to the vet, gets some medication, goes to the masseuse. These multi-poos, the pit bull with the growth spurt serum to make sure the dog don't grow big. Those dogs go to the vet. This is the Big Dogs on Campus show. No vet. Just thug it out. Put some tussum on it and keep it pushing. Big dog style. All right, man. Just jump right into it, man. We here for a little while. It's a little bit after 6 on the West Coast. We'll be out of here before 7. I got films today, workout today. High school football is underway, which is a segue to college football because all these kids playing this high school football will be playing on Saturdays next year. My son and them had a rough night, so we had a rough night. You hear the little tickle in my voice. It's from screaming at these youngsters all night last night. It was some good football being played. We had a marquee matchup, and we have some brothers on the Sports Empire Network that live in Texas. And we spoke on it a tad last week about Texas football being life. So before I get into the college football rundown, here's my soliloquy for this morning. Cali football ain't no punk. St. John Bosco went to Allen, Texas, and beat them boys something vicious. I believe it was 52-17, something like that. Wasn't close. And the first sentiment after the game was, y'all can recruit, You compile the best talent in California and you put together a squad versus little old Allen, Texas, a public school in Texas. Newsflash, the public schools in Cali been playing against these teams too. And when you don't have the offensive line and defensive line to compete, it gets ugly. So, yes, they can compile a good group of talent, but sometimes you just have a special team. This same team lost to Mater Dei last year. Mater Dei and Bosco at one point could not beat my high school, Long Beach Poly, a public school. These two teams struggle with Mission Viejo, Centennial Corona, all public schools. So don't give us that public school versus private school mumbo jumbo. You jump up and schedule a team like St. John Bosco, you have to have big dogs in the trenches. Don't complain because you were talking trash prior to the game. Take this L. Let it be a learning lesson. Learn from your mistakes. Don't jump up and schedule the big dogs if you're not ready to play with the big dogs. All right, here we go, man. Week 0. As I wait for some more big dogs to hop on the show. Now, reminder, all these times are Eastern times, but it's football on today. Austin P at Western Kentucky. My boy, Barry Wagner's son, Barry Jr., plays for Western Kentucky. I have a dog in this game. One for Western Kentucky. It's today at noon, which means at 9 a.m. out here on the West Coast. So I get to watch this on CBS Sports Network. Austin P versus Western Kentucky. I'm going to be looking for number 4, Wagner, to do something. Also, we got the hated ones, Nebraska versus Northwestern, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. That sounds like a pretty good game. I haven't seen Nebraska play in a while. They got the coldest. The coldest is on the team. The coldest to ever do it is on the team. We're going to see if the coldest is cold at 12:30 on Fox. Idaho State at UNLV. I haven't seen Idaho State play in a minute. And UNLV has been irrelevant. Wow. We go to LV to vacation. Are they playing some ball out there? CBS Sports Network, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, my home state, UConn at Utah State. That's a long flight for the first 0-week game. UConn at Utah State with Jim Mora at the helm for the Huskies. They play at 4 p.m., 1 o'clock West Coast time on FS1, my former employer. Or kind of current employer. You don't need a day shift employee when you are a editor. I was highlight sports editor, FS1, covering the game. That makes it a big game. Check it out today at 4 p.m. on the East Coast. And then Wyoming at Illinois at 4 p.m. on the Big Ten network. The Big Ten, which will be very interesting for us West Coast cats come next year when SC and UCLA joins the Big Ten. We'll see how that shakes out. So for these games, man, my predictions for these first few games, I'm going to go with coming out the blocks, Austin P, Western Kentucky. I'm going to go Western Kentucky. They're at home, and that stadium gets pretty packed out. Even for week 0 versus Austin P, it should be a pretty good game. Nebraska versus Northwestern. Historically, Nebraska is the football school. Northwestern is the academic school. Nebraska should win this game. Northwestern has had some moments throughout the years, made it to the Rose Bowl not too long ago in the late 1990s. It was a long time ago. Let me check that back. Nebraska this game by a good 7. Idaho State at UNLV. I'm going to go UNLV. They're at home. They're playing in Vegas. It is hot as fish grease in Vegas, and that temperature might be a little bit too much for Idaho State. UConn at Utah State. UConn's going a far distance. So they're traveling. And Utah State's a solid team. I I will pick my home state, UConn, the Huskies, to go in Utah State and surprise Utah State. Week 0, and Wyoming at Illinois. I don't really know a whole lot about Wyoming versus Illinois, but the home team has the advantage. But I'm gonna go with the underdog in this one, Wyoming. Then we got the Queens versus Florida State. Florida State at 5 p.m. on the ACC network. Florida State wins that handily. Let's do Charlotte at FAU. FAU is able to recruit a lot better than Charlotte. I got FAU in that one at 7 p.m. on CBS Sports. Florida A&M, the Rattlers at North Carolina. That game should be pretty fun. Florida A&M at North Carolina. That should be a fun game. I got North Carolina because of the trenches. They got more big guys, more big dogs in the trenches. At 8:15, you'll see Florida A&M and North Carolina. UNC, that's the light blue one. Yes, that blue one. It's that UNC on the ACC network. And we got North Texas at UTEP at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And it is North Texas at UTEP. My fellow big dog that just came on the show, he from Texas. He gonna say Texas versus Texas.
Yep.
Texas El Paso
I'm
versus
Texas.
all Texas all day. I'm gonna go UTEP, man. I'm gonna go with UTEP at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I had picked UTEP to win that game too. I got UTEP as well to win that game as well.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. Introduce yourself, brother. Big dog.
First of all, good morning, the Big Dawgs Show. Shout out to everybody. I'm Coach Dante from the Spotlight Sports Network, the executive of the Spotlight Sports Network. Freddie, is like a big brother to me, so he invited me up here, sent me the link. I talk college football. I have another college football morning show right after this one. So, I'm happy to be up here in joining the Big Dog Camping Show, man, anytime I get an opportunity. So, that's basically who I am.
Coach in the crib. Appreciate you jumping on, man.
Always, man.
My fellow like I said, Big Dog Cam is out there eating grass. He's sick. He is out there eating grass, trying to get right. He a Roddy. Sometimes Roddies go out there and eat grass to get right, but he out there getting it right, man. We hold it down for you, Big Sham. Big Cam, or Big Sham. I'm talking about Big Sham should be able to jump on at some point. We'll see what happens. If not, it's gonna be the coach in the AC, man. The big dog in the building right here. Last but not least, we got Vanderbilt at Hawaii. Now that's a trip. That's a long trip and a relaxing trip. If you take it too easy, Hawaii will get to you. You'll be out there riding them waves, and it's time to play. And I can tell from experience, we went to Hawaii and played in the Aloha Bowl. UCLA versus Kansas. And we got our head stomped because we was out there riding. We was out there riding scooters, man, boogie boarding, body surfing on Sandy Beach, getting towed up, and then got to the game, wasn't ready to play, and got our heads whooped. So it's hard to play in Hawaii, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Hawaii gonna beat Vanderbilt out there. It's gonna be on CBS Sports at 10:30 p.m., man. So let me go down the list, man. So you give me your predictions, man. I already gave you mine. Let's go. Week 0, man. You got Austin Peay at Western Kentucky, man. Who you got?
I got Western Kentucky. I think Western Kentucky going to win this by a mile. I got Western Kentucky over Austin Peay.
I agree 100%. We got Nebraska at Northwestern.
Oh, I think this has the potential to be the best game of the day. I think these two is in the same conference, right? The Big Ten conference. So this is an early matchup, but I'm going to go with Nebraska and Scott Frost, man. I really believe Nebraska was the best 3-8 team I ever saw last year. They lost so many games on special teams last year, and I believe this team is better than that 3-8. So I'm going to take Nebraska on the road in Northwestern, but it would not be an easy matchup. Northwestern can be pesky at home, but I'm going to take Nebraska.
I agree, man. Sometimes Northwestern get a little good.
Yep.
Low key good. Like my kids would say, hey, low key, Northwestern can jump up and surprise them. So hey, if they recruit it in the trenches, they got a chance. And we will see today at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And also,
We
they
got
got my guy. They got my guy over there from Texas, Casey Thompson. Not a bad quarterback at that. Casey Thompson is over there too in
that
Nebraska, so
helps.
he's not a bad quarterback.
Hey, that helps when you got a guy. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. The
Yep.
importance of having a guy when you're not sure who your team is going to be. The identity
Yep.
of your team sometimes revolves around the guy that you got. Idaho State travels to UNLV, another dangerous place to play because of the
Yep.
amenities. So you got Idaho State and UNLV, man. Who you got?
I got UNLV. I'm going for UNLV. Think
Yeah,
that's a trap game from Idaho State. I'm going for UNLV to win this game.
you should call it UNLV in Hawaii the trap game, like
Yep.
it's well, let's look around the country. You can get in trouble in Houston. You can get in trouble in Atlanta. You can get in trouble in LA. There's a lot of stuff to do in certain places. If you go out to the wrong places and get down, Miami, get in big trouble down there.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. That game's at 3:30 p.m. on CBS Network. UConn is traveling to Utah State.
Utah State. I got Utah State running away with this game.
Oh wow! So we got to put $2 on this one. $2. I got UConn for $2. I'm gonna bet $2 on UConn.
Yeah, I got Utah State. Utah State was very good last year, man. They were very solid last year.
Jim Moore is coaching UConn. They're gonna have them boys playing a different brand of football. I don't know if they recruited well enough to hang with Utah State, but I'm gonna pick them as a dark horse. As a hometown homer, I'm gonna pick UConn. Wyoming at Illinois. Who you got?
This can be a very good game too, man. I know Wyoming comes out. That's a tough team to play. Through the Chad Muma experience, he's not there. He's with Jacksonville now. They normally produce some very good quarterbacks and some very good players, but I'm going to take Illinois at home. I'm going to go Illinois at home.
Fighting Illini. Did they change the name of their mascot? They were the Fighting Illini. So I can't keep up. I mean, we got the Red Storm, we got the Orange Men, and the Fighting Illini, and then we had a bunch of politically correct folks jump up, and we had to change a lot of the names of our schools and even pro teams. So I had to make sure I'm politically correct. Is the Illinois Fighting Illini still the name of the team?
Yep.
Or did they change it up?
Yep.
Fighting Illini. Now, did the mascot change? It was an orange Native American back in the day. Yeah. I think I'm Native American myself, man. I'm an Eastern Pequot Indian. And I don't, as long as it's not disrespectful, like I don't want you, I think the Redskins was probably the most disrespectful because it was just the name of a derogatory name for Indian tribes in general. If you get like a chief or a brave, I think I'm cool with that. Now the Cleveland Indians, that might have been a little bit racist, and Redskins, that might have been a little bit racist. But hey, I just want an opinion, man. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, man. DeQuince. Am I saying that right? At Florida,
you might be saying that right. DeQuince right there. Yep.
DeQuince. If you can't even pronounce the name, they ain't got a shot. You ain't got a shot versus Florida State down there, man.
I got Florida State running away with that game. Yeah, Florida State's running away.
Florida State need their butt whoop for even scheduling this game, man. But I guess you gotta, you do your boys a favor, a solid to get their payroll right for that one money game. You're helping somebody out. Hopefully, kids don't get.
That's like a scrimmage game from Florida State. That's like a scrimmage. That's a scrimmage game for them.
It's like a setup fight for a boxer. You mean all my boxers opponents were handpicked? Yes, Rock. We could have put you in there with the monsters just yet. You're not ready. We got Charlotte at FAU.
I got Florida Atlantic.
Easy. They've been recruiting kids. They got some dudes at Florida Atlantic. The Lane Kiffin era got it going. He left for Ole Miss, and then the kids are still recognizing Florida Atlantic, so they going up there. They got guys. Florida A&M, the Rattlers versus North Carolina.
North Carolina.
But I think it might get ugly out there.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly. That's the scrimmage for Roy Williams, and he recruits very well too.
Yeah, I mean, I got some letters in here from my son. I was like, hey, that's North Carolina, brother, the light blue one, not the other one, the real one. So Florida A&M, they're gonna compete for a minute. They got athletes, but do they have the big dog in the trenches? North Texas at UTEP again. That's your seat, your state. You probably have the best knowledge of what's gonna happen down here. Who you got anyway, and by how much?
I got UTEP. I got UTEP by 10. in this
All
game.
right, man. I'm gonna put my bet in. I'm gonna go ahead and put my little money on UTEP on the side. I'm gonna call it
Yeah.
bookie. You better be right, big coach. You better be right, Coach Dante. Nevada at New Mexico State. I got a dog in this fight. One of my kids from last year's team is on New Mexico State. Sonny at PU is playing for New Mexico State.
Hmm.
Uh, and I haven't picked this game yet. Nevada probably recruits better than New Mexico State.
Yep.
It's a road game, but I'm gonna go with my kid, Sonny at PU, playing for New Mexico State. I'm pulling for the underdog. I would have Nevada if I was gonna be betting on the game. I got no money on this game. I'm gonna go for my gut, who I want to win. I'm gonna go New Mexico State, man. Who you got?
I love, I'm the person that love to go for upsets, but I can't go for one in this one. I got to take
You can't.
Nevada. I can't go for one.
You
I'm gonna
can't
wait
go.
till the next week. I'm gonna wait till the
Okay,
next week.
next week gonna
Go
pull some.
the pull some next week. That
All
next
right,
week.
man. Not this week for the Aggies. Oh man. All right. So the Aggies gonna get beat by Nevada, the Wolfpack. And last but not least, man, the last game of the night is gonna be Vanderbilt at Hawaii. And we already talked about how it's a trap game going down to Hawaii. You can go up there and
Yeah.
get caught up in the ABC store buying snacks in the middle of the night, be at the beach riding scooters. It's I mean, and if you freaky sneaky, that's out there too. It's a freaky sneaky on every corner.
Yep.
It's going down. We had a coach get caught out there. We like, Coach, what you doing? He like, what? We like caught him out in the act. In the act. You know, we players hanging out on the corner, just hanging out. Coach, what you
Yep.
doing? Talking to them prostitutes. Coach, coach, get in this hotel, man. He like, I'm single. I'm single. I'm getting it in. All right, man. So that's week 0 matchups,
Yep.
man. Hey, we got a few games next week that are very intriguing. I'm not sure if you've seen the schedule, big coach.
I
But I got a
think
couple.
about next week.
Yeah, next week,
Yeah,
week
I've seen the
1.
schedule. I'm looking at the schedules right now.
All right, so
Of the
give me
yeah.
1 or 2 games that jump out to you that you can't wait to see, that
Okay.
the viewers here on Sports Empire Network would want to see. If they didn't know, next week is week 1. What's a game that jumps out to you that you really want to
Like
see?
I said, man, the game that jumps out to me a little bit. I said it last week on, I think the last time I was on the show. I said Notre Dame and Ohio State, but I think Ohio State gonna put a pretty good whooping on them. I think Notre Dame is going to be in it throughout the first half, but I think it's just going to be too many weapons for Notre Dame to be guarding up. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is very, very solid. I mean, you got one of the top receivers in the nation in Jackson Smith-Jigba, who had a great, all pro. He looked like he had on a Hall of Fame jacket in that Rose Bowl versus Utah. That game, CJ Stroud is really, really very good. I think he's a dark horse for a Heisman, but I don't have him winning the Heisman. But the dark horse for me, who I got winning the Heisman, is Travion Anderson. This dude is very good, man, catching out of the backfield. I really like this guy, man. Doesn't go down on the first draw. And I really like Ohio State this year, man. I think they got a good offensive line. Now their defense ain't so much very good, but their defense is going to be good enough. I think Ohio State in this conference, I think they're the clear front runners of this Big Ten conference, and I think I don't think it's a team that's going to beat them in the Big Ten. I just think they're way too talented, and that's one of the games I'm going to be looking for. And plus, you got Marcus Freeman on the Notre Dame side. Notre Dame is going to always be competitive. It's just the problem is I do not trust them when they get into a big game. When they play big games, I just cannot trust them. They always will find a way to get out coached and just get out played. I just can't trust them in big time games.
Can't trust them, man. Trust is so big. You have to be. If I don't know how you're going to operate under adversity,
Yep.
and that's a lot of that's the biggest part about sports, man. And in recent history, what are you accustomed to doing? Are you accustomed to giving it up? Are you accustomed to getting out coached? And that's kind of where we got to lay our hat until you show us.
Yep.
That's what it is. So I agree with you, man. I think Ohio State puts some things on them. For me, a game that I'm interested in, I got 2 actually. It's
Okay.
the SC former quarterback bowl with West Virginia versus Pitt. I got 2
Yep.
USC defectives and
Yep.
JT Daniels and Keaton Slovis. JT done been to a couple schools, man. I don't know what, what he expects to happen. I mean, he has to perform. West Virginia's ranked, no, 17. Pitt is ranked number 17, and they
Yep.
play September 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. Should be a shootout. I mean, that's not going to be the days of Pat White and them. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be interesting because Pitt lost, some key guys to the portal. But I want to see JT versus Keaton. But my game I really want to see is Oregon versus Georgia.
I was gonna say that game. I'm gonna counter with another game after that one. Though
Yeah.
I was gonna say that game. I
Oregon
love
versus
that.
Georgia, September 3rd, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Georgia is 17.5-point favorite. I'm going to have to bet $2. They don't cover this spread. 17.5. That's ridiculously disrespectful. 17.5.
Yes.
But very possible. Now, Oregon's ranked number 11.
Yep.
They recruit well, too. They got some dogs, too. But that's Georgia, man. Whew.
That defense gonna be something serious, bro. When you go to that defense, and Kirby Smart, he gonna have that defense ready. The offense my offense may take some time to get going, but that defense is gonna just be ferocious for Bo Nix and Oregon, man. That defense just gonna be ferocious.
I mean, you go into the game with high hopes, but then you start looking at the roster. And then pre-game, you're gonna see them dogs walk across the field or jog across the field, and you have to compare them dudes. Ain't nothing more ain't nothing more discouraging to seeing when the kids warming up in they spandex muscle shirts, and then they run up next to yours. It's like, oh man, we in for it. We in for a doozy. And it was funny because one time I was playing, I was with the New Orleans Saints, man. We played against the Niners. And we had a receiver named Rashawn Dawkins, and he used to wear this little net muscle shirt. And he wasn't the spoilest cat in the world. He was a tall cat. We played against the Niners. Nigga, TL came out the locker room, bro. Spandex from top to bottom. And we were like, look at our receiver and look at theirs. I said, we in trouble, man. We got our boy don't even go in the weight room. TL came out that boy looking like a linebacker, man. And it was just like, man, it's gonna be a rough one. And I think this is the effects what they have in the Oregon versus Georgia. They're gonna see the pregame. They're gonna see bros with their headphones on out there, and they in there. They're gonna be out there getting it in, and they got the Oregon dudes, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like Mike Tyson said, skullduggery before the game even start.
The fight is over. Before the game even started, the fight is over. He look at you one time, he can feel that you intimidated inside. The fight is just over. You beaten before the match even started.
Man, this kid last night, the game said, man, they're pretty big. Game over. I said, why would you say something like that out loud? And you're about to play. Like, it's kickoff in 3 minutes. We on the sideline. We already prayed. We already got geeked up. Kid said, man, they're pretty big. I was like, man, shut up. Don't say them things that everybody's thinking about. And if one of y'all say it, it's a wrap. Hey, man, that dude right there is a monster. Like, man, you don't know he might be soft, but you crown him like Denny Green said. You might as well just crown him. Crown him. All right, man. So that's our predictions, man. You got one more game you want to see?
Yeah, I got one more game. I got Cincinnati and Arkansas at 2:30. Cincinnati coming off a college football playoff run where they would just seem like they were just overmatched against Alabama. They were just overwhelmed and overmatched. It'll be interesting to see how they come out and play against a very good team in Arkansas. At home, you got to go to Arkansas, so that's not going to be an easy fight. You got to hear the crowd jumping, and I'm going to look forward to see that match. You got 23 versus 19, so that's another game I will be interested in watching.
Yeah, Cincinnati losing a lot of pieces. Quarterback, Sauce Gardner gone at the corner. When you have dudes that are solid like that, man.
Yep.
And we're feeling that as a coach, the team I'm coaching right now, we lost a couple key dudes. And we're trying to get other kids to step into those spots. And college football is no different, man. Finding a guy to fill in that void.
They lost a lot, man. Cincinnati lost a lot. They lost Jerome Ford, the running back, Ritter, their own quarterback. They lost two of the cornerbacks. They lost the linebacker. They lost the defensive end.
Corner.
Yep.
NFL corners. That's not going – I mean –
Yep.
You don't realize the luxury of having corners.
Yeah.
In today's game. I don't know, man. I think we putting so much on every position that we, DN and cap quarterback. But if you ain't got no corners,
Oh yeah.
woo, ain't nothing else matter. You can do a one-step drop, airing that thing out.
I
Long
mean,
day, man.
what about
Long
those? You
day.
got to have those great disciplined
Gotta
corners,
have some
man.
dudes back
That,
there.
at least you got to just at least have one corner that can lock down one side of the field.
At
At
least.
least.
At least. Hey, it's a funny story, man. You're a Texas guy. My boy Elmar
Yeah.
Stoudemire played for the Cowboys with Prime. And he got cussed out one time in meetings. They playing cover. I think they're playing cover 2 or whatever it was. So he comes off the hash, plays deep halves on Prime side. Coach jumps up, goes to the light switch, cuts a light on. What are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? He said, I got deep halves. You see that man right there, number 21? Deion Primetime Sanders. He's like, we pay him a lot of money. The whole side of the field. We might call cover 2. We might call cover 3. Whatever we call, you do not help him. That whole side
Yeah.
of the field is his. And this is the pros. This is Prime versus Jerry Rice. This is Prime versus all the big dogs of his era. He said, I don't ever want to see you helping Deion Sanders. He's like, but coach, I don't want to hear it. Help somebody else. Cover the tight end, help cover the other side of the field. We pay that man a lot of money to shut down that whole entire side of the field. So when we
Yep.
call cover 2 here in Dallas and that man's out there, we ain't got to worry about that side of the field. I said, now
Yep.
that's a shut down corner.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa. And he was like, hey, man, you ain't got to tell me twice. And that's why having a shutdown, it makes that defense so potent, man, because they can do whatever they want with the other 10.
Yep.
The quarterback
Yep.
ain't throwing that side of the field.
Oh, he ain't doing that side at all. Once he figured out
He ain't
how
even
good
looking.
you feel like Deion Sanders was, I mean, he wasn't the best of tackles, but you know one thing, you don't want to test them. You don't want to
He's
test
getting
them.
that ball.
Yep.
And that's where the great ones separate themselves from the rest, man. All right,
Yep.
you mentioned it earlier, man. We get into Heisman talk. You mentioned you have a couple of dark horses. You have a couple of favorites. Heisman Trophy.
Yep.
I heard from RG3 that Bryce Young is going to repeat, and I had to think about it a little bit. It's set up for him. It's set up for him. You know what I'm saying? He's in the right situation. All he got to do is get it out to his athletes. Great offensive line, good coaching, set up for Bryce Young to repeat. I think RG3 got a point, but who do you have as your favorites? Who do you think has an opportunity? You mentioned a couple guys earlier. Who you got for the Heisman Trophy?
I've got, like you said, I got a couple guys. I got one in CJ Stroud. The weapons that he got. I mean, like you said, Jackson Smith-Jigma. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. Two study wide receivers. And people don't know about Ohio State. They're never losing wide receivers. They wide receiver room keep getting deeper, and deeper. Even when they lose one, they're still deep at that spot. I mean, you remember one time they had Jameson Williams in that spot. He went to transfer to Alabama because the line, that room was so deep. So again, you have Travion Anderson also who can catch out of the backfield. You have a very solid tight end. So I think everything that CJ Stroud fits, everything CJ Stroud is going to do, I believe, it's going to be more easier for him because of all these weapons. And plus, they got more experience. And plus, man, you got one of the top receivers in the country that's coming to the draft next year in Jackson Smith-Jigma. And it's just the all-around balance of that offense that's going to make him a Heisman candidate. And another guy, Travion Anderson. Travion Anderson, man, had over 18 touchdowns last year, man, was just good, man. This guy was just solid last year, man. I really love his physicalness when he running the football. I really love his ability to catch out of the backfield as well. So I think those two are my Heisman candidates, and of course to win the Heisman Trophy this year.
Good picks, man. I'm a go out on a limb, and he's been catching some flack, but I'm pulling for the hometown boy, DJ Uigalele in Clemson. He's been ran roughshod in the media. They've been talking about him like a dog when Clemson didn't continued to run, when they lost all them athletes, and they lost the defensive line that went to the league, they put it all on DJ. DJ's 21 years old now. DJ, a grown man. He came into camp a little heavy. He necked back down to 235. Big boy, slang that thing. Dabo and them reloaded at receiver, reloaded at tight end. Dark horse. To be in New York, I ain't saying he gonna win it, but he should be able to get a seat in New York if he plays how he knows how to play. DJ Uigalele, I'm probably messing his name up, but I've been calling him DJ since he was a pup. But I believe he has an opportunity to bring a breakout season. And my more solid selection, of course, I'm going Homer again. UCLA Zach Charbonnet. He runs the ball hard. He's our if UCLA does anything this year, he's probably going to get 1,500 yards, and he'll be in New York. But I'm messing around after RG3 made his prediction. I'm just thinking about how comfy it is for Bryce Young at Bama, and it's like, well, everybody else is going to have a hard road at it, but you keep your eyes on your guys. Keep an eye on DJ Uigalele and Zach Charbonnet for big college.
I like Zach Charbonnet. I did a couple of games of him last year. Him and Brendan Brown in that backfield. That guy's a beast, man. Zach Charbonnet is a beast. And I mean, DJ, I just call him DJ. I don't even try to mention his last name.
Let's try it, man. Let's try it.
DJ. It just seemed like he wasn't ready last year. It just seemed like he was too overwhelmed last year when he saw Georgia, man. Georgia just did that to anybody last year.
Yeah.
He did it to everybody. That defense was
Big Jordan Davis. You see Big Jordan Davis pregame, you be overwhelmed too.
You see all them dogs on that defense, Nakobe Dean. You see Travion Walker coming at you, Jordan Davis coming at you in the middle. I mean, you see all that. You see all those. You see Quay Walker coming on the other side. There's no way you can escape. Then he had a bad game against Pittsburgh. I think he got benched in that game. That game was so bad he even got benched. Then I believe he had a game against NC State. He really didn't play well. So I'm hoping for a bounce back year. You're not the only one that got him to have a bounce back year this year. But I say, man, it just wasn't great for him all around last year. And Georgia was the first ones to kind of expose that part right there.
And Georgia exposed a lot of folks. I mean, Georgia's out here undressing people. Like, take off what you got on. Like, taking their clothes. Let me see you. You ain't been in the weight room, man. Let me see you. You ain't got no traps. You ain't got no guns.
Let me get that chain off you, sir. Let me get your watch.
What size shoe you wear? My size. Give me them shoes. Come out the shoe, partner. It's a jack. It's a jack move, brother. Ain't no way around it, man. All right, man. So last topic. I'm not sure if you were prepped for it. Your favorite team and the prediction for their season. So you run down your favorite team's schedule.
All right.
Give me your wins and losses.
All right. So I'm going to start with the game. Louisiana Monroe, Lafayette. We're going to win that game, I think, going away. We're going to win that game going away.
That's the squad?
Yeah, Texas. Texas is my squad.
Oh, so that's what UT. Okay, UT.
Versus, UT. Okay,
yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. What?
Yeah, UT is about to diehard team. UT Texas Longhorns. Yeah, so we're going to win that game going away. Alabama, we're going to get smacked around for a little bit, but I think we can keep it close. We can keep it close until halftime, and then Alabama will start open up a can on us for a little bit. If Posey and Steve Sarkisian don't get in his own way like he did last year, I mean, with so many games we should have won, we just got stalled out in the second half. Every game we pretty much lost. We lost in the second half pretty much last year. UTSA, they're going to be tough, man. This is going to be a tough team. This is not going to be an easy fight, but I'm going to give it to Texas by 7. I'm going to give it to Texas by 7. We go to Texas Tech. I'm going to give us a win on that one. So right now we're 3-1. At home versus West Virginia. I'm giving us a win at West Virginia at home. Oklahoma, I think we're losing Oklahoma. Until we figure out a way to beat Oklahoma, I don't think we're beating them. So right now, we are 4-2. Now, going back home, playing Iowa State, we winning that game. I got us winning that game. Oklahoma State, I got Oklahoma State winning the Big 12. I got them winning the Big 12 at 5. We at 5-3 at this point. Kansas State, I got us beating Kansas State on the road. TCU, I got us beating TCU. And I got us getting that revenge versus Kansas. So, and we going home versus Baylor, and I think we'll lose against Baylor. So I got overall about 9-4 for Texas this year.
9-4. Is that enough for all the oil money put into that squad? Is that going to suffice those deep pockets that have been dumping money into that program? Like, isn't it BCS or bust at this point? How many years is Texas going to allow to not be in the prominence of at least winning the Big 12? Is that
I
enough?
mean, I don't know if it would be enough, but it should be enough to put us. I will say it should be enough to put us on the right track and give us a direction that where we're going in. It should be enough right there, but we'll just find out. I believe we got a very solid squad. The problem is, I'm just not a fan of Steve Sarkisian. I'm just not a big fan of him from last year.
Can't trust him. Can't win with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Gotta trust, man. We got this hot shot name, Sarkisian. You are on the hot seat. If you don't realize you are on the hot seat every year, because there's some guys as out there. Hey, is Urban Meyer a possibility to return to college football in UT if this don't work out with Sarkisian?
I believe it could be. I really believe it could. I really actually believe he could be on the hot seat to be.
It's enough money. It's enough money out. It's enough money out there.
Yep.
And he does well in college.
Yeah, he does very well in college. He does excellent in college. It just NFL grown man, he just wasn't ready for that point. He just was too overwhelmed and was not ready to be at that point.
You can't talk to no grown man crazy.
No, no, they're not gonna stand for it.
They were like, "Hey, coach, I'll make $20 million a year. I'm not doing all that." He said, "What Paul say? You want to argue? I can't argue with you."
Yep, this ain't college. This ain't college where you can just recruit kids that want to come to a championship type of team instead of going to free agent and convincing guys to come to the organization. Same thing. This ain't it. That ain't it.
Big difference, man. Big difference. We have to have a segment about that. College coaches that have gone to the league and had to come right back because it ain't no punk. When the cat got $1 million in the bank, it's hard to get him to come at 5 a.m. to run some gashes.
Yep.
It's hard to get him to cut his hair off and wear a tie. It's like, coach, you gotta be messed up. I'm not doing any of those things. As a matter of fact, I'll be here when you're gone. I'll be here. It's a different day. It is a different day. You can't run up on no grown men telling them.
Yeah, I think Marvin Jones ran them up out of Jacksonville. Yeah, I think Marvin Jones had enough of that. Marvin Jones had enough of that.
Hold on. What? Rookie entertainment. Yeah. That's about all we're gonna do. My favorite team is the Bruins. My alma mater.
I like them, man.
The Bruins, man. Even though SC is loaded, only thing I don't like about our team is our raggedy schedule. If we don't win these first 3 games, we got Bowling Green, and the uniforms are brown and orange. Bowling Green. I think if a team got a color in the name, should always have that color in the uniform. Bowling Green is orange. Bowling Green's had some moments in the last 10 years, but they are playing against Bowling Green at the Rose Bowl at 11:30 a.m. UCLA should be able to beat them handily by 14 at least. Then we got Alabama State. I'm going to that game. I'm going to go see the band at halftime, and then I'm probably going to ghost after that. If we don't beat Alabama State by 20, it's going to be a long season. So there, we 2-0. Alabama State, thank you for coming out. Here's your check. And what my coach say, show me my money. Is that a meme? Is that? I forgot where coach was at, but my man had me rolling. He said, hey, show me my money. Get the man a check. It's called the Black Excellence Game. I don't know if I'm happy or offended. The Black Excellence Game in the Rose Bowl. I'm going to get one of them shirts with the red and black and green that they selling on. I don't know. I mean, UCLA, we do have a woke history from Black Power movement and the Civil Rights movement, having some guys on campus UCLA with, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and them guys protesting. We do have a connection. We're playing at HBCU for the very first time in the history of UCLA football. the Black Excellence game. UCLA going to beat Alabama State by 20. South Alabama. We trying to play Alabama, but they wouldn't take our call. Nick Saban said, y'all not ready. So we took every other Alabama team. Alabama State comes to the Rose Bowl. We hosting everybody. Anybody else want to come get this money, come get this money. Another team we should whoop. But knowing us, we going to make it a game. Because last year when we beat LSU, and I'm like, as easily as we beat LSU, we're going to come around and mess up and lose to Fresno State next week. And they're like, man, why you put that in the atmosphere? I said, hey, I just know how we roll. We up here smiling and geek, and we beat LSU when they was down, rotating quarterbacks. And I was like, this is not a good LSU team.
Yep.
And we smiling, and we turn around and lost to Fresno State the next week. I tried to tell them.
LSU team, by the way, throughout the first 3 games, gave up 37 points per game. Defense was just bad.
That wasn't a good LSU team. So don't smile too soon. But South Alabama in the Los Bruins game. I guess this is the game where we're going to shout out to the Latino community. South Alabama, I don't know much about them. It looks like their mascot is a jaguar or something. It ain't the Crimson Tide. It's South Alabama. They do have a D1 program. I believe it's D1 FCS. We should win this game by 20. Yep. If not, we're going to have a long season. And then we go into the Pac-12. We got Colorado. We should beat Colorado.
We should beat them. Yep.
Should beat them. So we should be 4-0 going into Washington, who is also in transition. But it's never easy playing the Washington.
Yep.
I told the team last night, we got whooped last night. I said, hey, man, I was playing at UCLA. We got beat by Washington at home so bad. The coach threw away the tape. He said, we ain't even going to watch it. We know we didn't do nothing right today. So we just going to throw the tape away. The Huskies, always tough on the road. So I'm going to say we're going to pull this one out because we're going to run the football. We're not relying on the pass all that much.
Yep.
At home. So we have a chance. So we can mess around and be 5-0 going into the tough, always tough Utah Utes game. Utah just has our number, man. I want to say we got a shot, but Utah always has our number. So we might mess around, be 5-1 at that point. And then we got to jump up and go to Autzen, play Oregon in them uniforms in Autzen. And it's probably going to be at night, the time to be determined. No one Oregon is going to be at 9 p.m. West Coast time. So ain't nobody going to be able to see it on the East Coast. And we're going to be tired, sleepy, and Austin Stadium going to be rocking. And they're going to have on some fresh new uniforms. And all our kids going to be like, wow, look at them uniforms. And before you know it, it's going to be the third, fourth quarter, we down 25. That's where it goes down, man. I got it 5-2 going into the Stanford game. We should beat them. It's homecoming. Stanford has been down. I'm not sure what David Shaw and them doing in Stanford, man. They used to be really strong.
They used to be really, really strong, man. You used to be scared to even go to Stanford. Yep.
For some reason, they haven't been able to recruit well.
Yep.
So Stanford's still down, I believe. So we'll be 6-2. Arizona State's in shambles.
Yep. So they lost their quarterback too. Yep. And their running back.
I love Herm, but he lost everybody.
Yep.
And they had to clean up what Antonio Pearson was doing. And he turned a blind eye. Now you got to work through it. But if they offer my son, we might consider it. We'll consider it. But I believe UCLA should beat them. So right now we'll be 7-2 going into the Arizona game. The Veteran and Armed Forces Appreciation Day at the Rose Bowl. Arizona's retooled and rebuilt, man. They brought in a bunch of guys from a local area private school. A bunch of freshmen should play. I think the moment will be too big for those freshmen. UCLA should win at the Rose Bowl versus Arizona, making them what? Is that 8-2?
8-2. That's 8-2.
8-2.
Yep.
All right. Then you face USC, Lincoln Riley, and all these Williams and all these dudes that came over. It's like a stinking free agent team. SC, man, we beat them 63 to some change last year.
They got that game circled.
So they ready. Personally, man, I never lost to SC. We beat SC 4 years in a row when I was playing.
Yeah.
So SC brought me some of the best days of my life. I love SC for that. They've brought me some good memories. They brought me some good historical references. I can show my son. It's on YouTube. I show my son, say, that's your daddy right there making that interception. That's your daddy right there. We came back from 14 down with 3 minutes left. The game is never over, son. Anything is possible. Ask Kevin Garnett. But this year, at the Rose Bowl, SC got a bone to pick. I'm going to pick USC to beat us just because I'm going to be fair about it. Of course,
Yep.
I'm pulling for UCLA to win, but I don't know if we're ready for the skill set of the Trojans this year. The guys they brought over aren't USC guys. Them guys, is it Addison and
Yep.
Williams?
Addison, you got Caleb Williams. Yep.
I saw Addison wearing number 3 at practice. Number 3 is retired. If they let him rock number 3, that's disrespectful. That just lets me know that this kid is that dude. He came out the locker room looking like Keyshawn Johnson with speed. So I'm like, oh my God, he might be a little bit too much for the pack. He gonna have a good full season, full of stats. I think we're gonna mess around and be 8-3 at
Yep.
that point. And then we got Cal. We should be able to win that
Should be able
game.
to beat them.
So we'll mess around and be 9-3.
9-3.
Going to the Holiday Bowl in the Pac-12 conference, in the Pac-12 South, probably be SC. I mean, if Lincoln Riley is who we think he is, and all these boys you brought in are who they say they are, they should be able to go. SC should go 10-2. They should have a really solid, strong year. But it is the first year getting the kinks out. And Lincoln Riley's coming from the Big 12. They didn't play much defense out there. You do have to play some defense in the Pac if you're comparing it to the Big 12. Big 12 is track meets every week. In the Pac-12, you beat each other up. So we'll see when SC plays Oregon, SC plays Utah, how they fare versus those teams that got just as much talent on the outside and along in the trenches. So we'll see how it goes, man. Hey, man, it looks like it's coming to the end. Anything you want to shout out, man? Any shows you got coming up?
Yeah, man. I got a morning show coming up on a Spotlight Sports Network soon. I got 2 ball games I'm doing today. I'm doing Illinois ball game. I'm doing Vanderbilt versus the Rainbow Warriors tonight. So that's the events I got coming up. So yeah, man, just appreciate you for having me on the show and the Big Dog Campus again. And shout out to Freddie for sending me the link, man. Like I said, we can do it again, probably do it again. I probably won't be able to do it again next week because I got football next week, but I say I will be watching, man. So thank you, man, for letting me on, man.
Coach Dante, man, I appreciate you coming, playing Batman tomorrow, Robin. Coming in and bringing that info like you always do, man. And that Texas headband, is that Texas headband? Is that the American headband?
That's American headband, man.
It looked like the Texas headband. Everything in Texas is bigger. Appreciate you, man. Hey, for all those people that support the Big Dogs on Campus show, appreciate y'all coming through. Big Shane and Big Cam will be back next week. And like I might be just like the coach, man. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here, man. I might be incapacitated depending on how we go next Friday in high school football, man. Hey, but it's all good when the Big Dogs are on campus. We gonna keep it rolling here. 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. PC time, Pacific Coast time. I'm Big AC from AC Sports Live here on the Big Dogs on Campus Network. If you are watching, man, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button if this is on YouTube. If we're on Facebook Live, comment, reach, views, likes, comments. We appreciate all you guys do for us here at the Sports Empire Network. Get on board, man. We rolling. And we want to hear your comments, your takes. College football's upon us, man. High school football's in full swing. NFL's getting ready to go. If you love football, man, you got to be one happy camper right about now because it's about to go, man. 0 week this week. We had a comment earlier. Who's our lock? Are you asking for wagering purposes? Who's our lock picks? This is not a gambling show. But if I'm going to say there's a lock, if I'm going to bet $2, my customary $2, I only bet $2. You're going to see Cobby, I only bet $2, man. My lock this week, I'm going to go Nebraska over Northwestern. It's a lock. I'm not sure the point spread. Nebraska by 3.5. Lock it in. Bet $2. Don't bet your mortgage. Don't bet your rent. Bet something you can live with, your per diem. Bet your bonus. Bet something that your wife won't get mad if you lose it. because I don't know. I ain't seen these kids in practice. I haven't been to camp. So I can't tell you. I'm going off historical prowess, historical dominance, historical recruiting. Nebraska over Northwestern. All right, man. I'm AC, Big Cobby on the Big Dogs on Campus Show. We want to thank y'all once again. Hey, until next time, keep barking, keep scrawling, keep sniffing, and go ahead pee on a tree or two. Mark your territory. Be a big dog, man. It's football season. Have fun, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, man. We holla at y'all. Peace out.